Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching Ask PQ on Bloomberg Quint Live. I'm Navneet Saluja D'Souza.
Hi Navneet, and hello to all of you. I'm Alex Matthew. We've got questions on equity. You can send them to us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp. You can also call us on 022-4540-4141, or you can mail us on askpq@bloombergquint.com. Just make sure to add the Ask PQ hashtag.
All right, but before we get to the individual queries on the show, let's quickly tell you what's happening with the markets. It's not turning out to be a great session at all. In fact, in the last half an hour, I think the selling pressure has intensified. Nifty's been trading below the mark of 11,000 now. 10,983 is where it currently trades. Though it's recovered from the lows, I think it also touched the mark of 10,960 thereabouts. Sensex down about 70 points in trade, and the Bank Nifty, that too will come up on your screen. Bank Nifty is just about flattish, actually outperforming the benchmarks in today's trade. But pull up the broader markets as well, mid-cap as well as the small-cap indices. They've been actually underperforming right from the word go in the morning. So Nifty mid-cap down 1%, small-cap index down about 1.1% in trade. The volatility too has inched higher after the markets have dropped in the last half an hour to 45 minutes of trade. By the way, that's the NSE stats market breadth, which has been in favor of the declines. And India Wix, in the opening session, it touched the level of 14. Now from 14, it's at 16.86. So intraday, there's been a lot of volatility seen here as well. The Nifty contributors list will come up on your screen, telling you which are the stocks which are dragging the index lower. So ITC is just about dragging by 8 points. L&T, HDFC, Reliance, all the heavyweights actually feature there, but clear support coming in from the other heavyweights. HDFC Bank, nearly 10% weightage on Nifty. Your ID stocks, which have been outperforming, Infi, TCS, are up and about. But in terms of sectoral losers, you've got metals, realty, as well as the PSU banking space, where sharp losses have been seen. Metals continues to reel under pressure, down over 2%. I think IT is still holding about. If you could just pull up the Nifty IT index, because Infi and TCS were trading in the green, contributing to Nifty. Yes, it's been bucking the trend in the last 3 to 4 sessions. Remember, rupee depreciation in the month of August could be creating tailwind for this space. From the broader market, so Nestle has touched live highs today after NSE issued a circular yesterday changing some rules whether which stocks could be included in Nifty in the NSE indices, and they have included now the stocks which are permitted to trade, and Nestle falls under that category. So now maybe it's meeting all the criteria for a stock which can enter Nifty. Nestle is up and about at live highs. Sri Pushkar is up 11% in trade, and other chemical company Navin Fluorine has seen strong gains, about 10%, and Subros is up about 6%. In fact, Subros, just for the month of August, it's not month of August, actually for this week, it's up 17%. On the losing side, whole host of companies which are touching 52-week lows. So Steel Authority down 5.5%. NMDC, after yesterday's 11% fall, is down another 3.5% in trade. Ujjivan Financial is down. That's seen cuts of about nearly 4%. And Arvind has seen a lot of short positions coming on the future side, as last when I checked, open interest for this one had gone up by nearly 20 to 22%, Alex.
All right. Well, on that note, let's get our two experts in. Rather, we've got one who's joined us so far. We're still waiting for Sameet Chavan of Angel Broking. He will join in not too long from now. Vikas Sethi of Sethi Finmart is with us at the moment. Thanks so much, Vikas, for joining me. And I'm going to come to you on the first query, really, which is what your strategy is initially. Very shortly, if you can tell us how you dealing with the market as of now. A lot of experts have come and said that at least for the short term, they're being a little cautious. Which sectors are you preferring? Are you looking at defensives right now? And how are you deploying at the moment?
Yeah, good afternoon, Alex. Good afternoon, Navneet. Now, as far as our markets are concerned, they've been extremely volatile. The reasons are pretty much there. The US bond yield inverted curve, that has also led to international cues being negative, and those are signifying a recession looming large, and that's the reason why international cues have been negative over the past few days. As far as our domestic cues are concerned, most of the sectors are not doing well. We are all anticipating some stimulus package from the government, and then there are talks of the FPIs also being pretty negative after they've been charged with some surcharge in the recent budget, and we are also awaiting government's response on that. So these things are keeping the market extremely volatile. and they've been weak also over the past few days. But I think at the current levels, we would be somewhere near the bottom if you have a medium to long term point of view. We could certainly correct by another 2 to 3% on the index level, but then this is the right time from my point of view to buy into good quality stocks from good sectors and have a long term point of view, meaning at least of around 9 to 12 months. So I would recommend investors to be buying into this market and that too in quality stocks from good sectors.
Okay, so Vikas is suggesting use this correction to buy quality stocks into the markets. Let's start taking some queries. Shubham has a query on L&T. He's bought 100 shares at 1450 for long term, and what he wants to know, should he look to average at current levels, because L&T currently is trading around the mark of 1350 as opposed to buy price of about 1450 by Shubham. Vikas, I'm going to come back to you. You were mentioning good time to enter for good quality stock. Does L&T feature into that? And if yes, would you advise someone who's bought at higher levels to average now?
Yeah, certainly L&T would feature in my list of good quality, fundamentally strong stocks. This company has been doing well, and after the budget, with the kind of focus which the government has on infrastructure and the revival of our economy, I think L&T would be a major beneficiary of the same. Although the market sentiments are not good right now, and this stock has also corrected from its recent highs and it is not doing much. But if you have a long-term point of view, I think one should be buying into the stock at the current levels, or rather use a staggered approach to be buying into the stock and buy on every downtick in the stock.
Because this is an interesting query from Shalom Ranga. He's asking about how you would rate the AMC stocks, and and he's talking about the next 5 to 10 years. So that would be HDFC, AMC, Motilal Oswal, Edelweiss, Reliance Nippon Asset Management. What really is your perspective about the space, and would you pick one or two names in that space?
Yeah, Alex, as far as this sector is concerned, I'm pretty bullish on the sector, and this is a good time to buy into this sector, because I feel in India, this sector will have tremendous opportunities going ahead. If you look at the developed world, the kind of activities which are going on, I think if they get replicated in India, these companies would have certainly very bright future. But then you need to differentiate men from the blues, men from the boys, and I think HDFC AMC would be the best bet among the sector to be invested into. I am bullish on HDFC AMC, although it trades at a pretty expensive valuation if you compare it with its peers, but then quality always comes at a price. So I would recommend buying into HDFC AMC at every fall. One should be using a staggered approach to be buying into HDFC AMC also from a long-term point of view.
Okay, quality does come at a good hefty price, and Vikas is suggesting if you want to take a bet into the space, go for HDFC AMC. I think Sameet Chand is also joining us now, Chief Analyst Technical and Derivatives at Angel Broking. Hi Sameet, good afternoon. I'm going to take this query to you, Sameet. Vivek has written to us and he's got Jai Bharat Maruti at levels of about 300. We've seen somewhat of recovery in this stock, of course, because Maruti too has been inching higher. The entire auto space, at least in the month of August, has bounced back from those bottom that we've seen. What he wants to know, should he look at averaging at current levels, or he should use these moves on the upside now to exit, though he's still sitting with losses?
No, I think the kind of price and volume activity that we have seen in the last couple of days, that is quite encouraging. So he can partially, yes, he can definitely average it out considering the price and volume activity. So we expect at least extension of this current relief move probably towards 195, 200 over the next few days. But to know whether this stock would surpass 200 or not, that would time will tell. So one has to review this situation once the stock reaches around 200. It's a cluster of resistance for this particular counter. But as of now, yes, it appears that 140, 145 has become a very strong support, and the fall has been arrested for a time being.
Okay, Sameet, also a query on Maruti. Someone's Ayush Jain has written to us. He's used these lower levels to accumulate. So he's got 100 shares at 60.59 for short term. He wants to know if he should look to book profits in this volatile market.
Yes, definitely. In such kind of market, if you are making money on the long side with a momentum view, then yes, certainly you should look to book out your profits. Yes, from here on, extension towards 6400, 6500 cannot be ruled out. But the kind of development that we have been seeing since last many months, it's better to book out your profits, if not fully, at least partially.
Okay, Sameet, hi. Thanks so much for joining us. I have a couple of other questions for you as well, and this is something that is coming to us more and more because this pocket of strength that is seen in the market as of now, which is life insurance companies. And you have Shubham Garg, who's bought, rather Saurabh Pathak, who's bought 500 shares of SBI Life at 662. And Bharat Bhushan, who's bought 1,000 shares of HDFC Life at 427. Both of them are short-term plays. They're both asking whether they should book profits at the current juncture.
See, clearly we have been witnessing, gravity-defying moves in this life insurance space, and clearly HDFC Life Insurance is one of the preferred bet within this space. But yes, one has to understand that low-hanging fruit is already gone. We have already seen good, move in both the stocks. So as far as HDFC Life is concerned, I would ask him to book out his partial profits and keep trailing your stop losses higher. So at this juncture for HDFC Life, the stop loss would be somewhere around 505 and hold on. For SBI Life, yes, one should adopt similar kind of strategy. Book out your partial profits and trail your stop losses towards 800.
Okay, that's the view, technical view rather, on these insurance companies. The next query is on Yes Bank, and we've got Rishabh Tiwari who's writing to us. He's bought 1,000 shares of the bank at 200 rupees for long term, and the stock is trading, I think, sub 80 levels now. He wants to know, should he hold or exit from this position of his? Vikas, bank's exposure to, troubled groups like Z, Divan Housing, and of late Coffee Day Enterprises, and also CG Power, which underreported their liabilities. I think they hold about 13% stake in that company. There are a lot of legacy issues now which are emerging out for this bank after fundraising. Also, there is no respite coming. What would you advise a shareholder of Yes Bank who's been holding the shares at levels of about 200? Should he be, staying patient, looking to average at current levels, or the wise advice should be to just exit considering the current market environment?
Yeah, Navneet, as far as Yes Bank is concerned, the spat of bad news revolving around the company does not end. Every week, one or the other bad news keeps coming in. You had already named some 3-4 groups where they had exposure into. Recently, even yesterday, CG Power, they are the bank which has the largest exposure to even CG Power, where very substantial fraud was detected yesterday. So we are seeing painful times for Yes Bank, but I would feel that at the current levels, one can hold on to the stock and can expect a bounce back. They recently concluded QIP at an average price of around 83. And the results this quarter were not that bad. They had shown some improvement in the performance. So I expect a bounce back in the stock, but then I think that bounce back should be used as an opportunity to exit the stock, because I feel there are other private sector banking stocks which would do comparatively better. So my advice to the investor would be to exit on rallies and then switch to a bank like an ICICI Bank or an Axis Bank from the same space if he has a long-term point of view.
Vikas, coming back to you on Fortis, I was just reading, there was a report, I believe, in today's papers that talked about Fortis cutting its costs somehow. How do you rate the fundamentals of the counter? Around 13% lower for the year so far. So there is a lot of ground to cover.
No, Alex, as far as Fortis is concerned, I do not like the stock and would recommend investors to be avoiding the stock. The only stock which I like from the hospital sector would be the Apollo Hospital, which is the leader in the category, and I would stick to that. Fortis would not be regarded as an investment-worthy stock.
Okay, and Apollo Hospitals has been outperforming post its numbers. We have seen some bit of positive returns coming from this stock. The next query is coming from Abhinav Jaiswal, who's asking if you should look to buy Eicher Motors at current levels for short term. Sameet, while the auto stocks and the Nifty Auto Index has seen some bit of recovery in the month of August, but Eicher in particular, it could be up 1% in today's trade, has not seen that recovery at least in the month of August. Would you advise someone to buy now at current levels, or one should wait it out?
Yes, clearly this stock has failed to move along with its peer counters still languishing around its multi-year support lows of 16,000 or so. There is no sign of revival trend reversal as of now for this particular. So I would rather wait for some kind of reversal in terms of move beyond 16,500, 16,600, which seems to be a near-term resistance.
Coming back to you, Vikas, on a counter that, well, let's just say that it had a lot of potential and so far it has failed to live up to that potential. That's VATech Wabag or Vatek Wabag. Subrendu Dash is asking about this counter. It's just about 2% lower in trade today. How would you rate it? Would you say still that it has the potential to live up to the billing?
Yeah, true. Actually, it's a good company and in the right kind of sector where the government is seriously focused on. The government has announced a lot of incentives for the irrigation and agriculture, and this company is into those kind of areas. And plus, the talks about say reaching out to every Indian with piped water would be pretty positive for this company. Then the cleaning of River Ganga, I think they are also participating in that. So this company is operating in a sector which has tremendous opportunity. The fundamentals look good and the valuations after the recent corrections have become attractive. So from a long-term point of view, I think one should be holding on to the stock.
Okay, hold on to VATech Wabag is the advice coming in. Ankit Mishra has a query on HDFC Bank. So he's bought 100 shares at 24.50 for long term, but what he wants to know if he should look to average now, considering the stock's come off his buy price of 24.50 at 22.31 currently. Sameet, you think it's the right level or he should wait here?
See, I guess it's a right level, but in such kind of market, I would rather wait for some kind of reversal on daily chart. So 2290 is the level to watch out for. If this stock manages to surpass this level, then we could see first sign of reversal. So he can average it out only once the stock surpasses 2290.
So Voice of the Lamb has got an interesting query, but I don't think that this is the this is the show for that query. We've got a mutual fund show that deals with your query. If you've got a specific stock that you'd want to know about, you can let us know. Karthik Ram's got a question for you, Sameet, and he's talking about ITC. I believe it's under pressure today, if I'm not mistaken. It's down about 1.5% in trade today. What are the levels that you would say are good to enter?
No, as of now, there is no level no level is better for entering this particular counter. See, considering the overall correction in last 3 months, 3 weeks, stock has given a decent nosedive from higher levels, and now it is approaching its 2017 lows. So 240 would be a critical support for this counter. So as of now, what we have been advising those who have shorted at higher level, they should start lightening up their positions, short positions somewhere around 240, and in case of a reversal, then probably one can look to go long.
Okay, that's ITC down 1.5%. Remember, that's a heavy weight on the index, so the fall on ITC will also drag Nifty lower. The next query is on Adani Enterprises, the stock which has corrected nearly 17 to 18% so far this calendar year. Vikas, Surya Nimani has written, and Surya wants to know about the fundamentals of this company, whether they're good enough to, to put money into the stock currently.
Yeah, as far as Adani Enterprises is concerned, the stock has seen a strong up move over the last few days, but it's currently trading at around, I think, 135, 136. I think if one has already invested into the stock, one would be advised to hold on to the stock. But for buying into the stock fresh, I think one should be waiting for a correction to happen. So I would advise the investor to look for opportunities around 120, 125 levels to be buying into the stock.
Okay, Vikas, coming back to you, we've got Baljinder, I believe, who's asking about a long-term view on Interglobe Aviation. Let's pick that one. Would you say that it's a good level to buy? It's done quite well for itself, if I'm not mistaken, over the last year or so, especially because of the exit and the vacuum that was created by the exit of Jet Airways.
Yeah, true. As far as Indigo is concerned, it's enjoying the benefits, the twin benefits of closure of Jet Airways and the sharp correction in crude oil prices, and which was pretty much reflected in the performance of the company for this quarter. The company had reported impressive results for the quarter, and I think at the current levels, one can certainly hold it to the stock or even look for buying opportunities on any correction in the stock. I think in the next 1 year, we could see an upside of 20 to 25% on the stock from the current levels.
Okay, that's Interglobe Aviation for you. Last 3 months, the stock's seen gains of about nearly 10%. The other query is coming in from Krishna. He wants both funda as well as technical view on HCL Technologies. The stock, let's just pull up today and check what it's doing in today's session. It's down about 1%. But remember, Agam Vakil, who tracks this space pretty closely, has put out a story on our website, bloombergquint.com today, asking for reason if HCL Technologies is poised for re-rating because it is one of the cheapest company now available in this space, trading at 14 times P. Of course, Tech Mahindra also trades at that space, but it's trading at a huge discount to other peers like TCS, which trades at 24 times, and also Infi at about 20 times. So let me first get a technical view here. Sameet, on the charts, would you advise someone to buy into HCL Technologies at current levels? Or let's say, what should be the key levels to be watched out here for HCL?
See, in the initial part of August month, stock came out of a consolidation mode and then gave a good move towards 1100, and again it has slipped into a consolidation mode. So that 1100 has become a important level to watch out for in the upward direction. If it manages to surpass this, then it would unfold further leg of the rally to head towards 11,050, 11,060 as well. So 1100 is a critical level in the upward direction. On the low side, 1040 remains to be a very strong support.
Vikas, is HCL Tech giving you valuation comfort and also the company giving revenue guidance of about 14 to 16% now for FY20?
Yeah, right, Navneet. I like the stock. Fundamentals look good, and within the IT biggies, this trades at a reasonable discount to its peers like an Infosys, TCS, or a Wipro. And the recent quarterly results were also pretty good, and the sector is also doing well. And with the kind of weakness which we've witnessed in the rupee recently, I think the IT sector would continue to do well. So I'm bullish on the stock, and I have a target of around 1,300 rupees on the stock in a year's time. So I would recommend a buy or a staggered approach to be buying into the stock at every fall.
Vikas, quick view on IDFC First Bank, bought at levels of 45.4. Would you hold for the long term?
Yeah, certainly. IDFC First Bank should be held on to from a long-term point of view. I really like the new management under the leadership of Mr. Vaidyanathan, and I think this bank would do well in the future. One needs to have a pretty long-term view on the stock, and at the current levels of around 45, it looks good.
Okay, that's IDFC First Bank. It's that time of the show when we hit the rapid fire segment. But before we begin, just a small request to both our experts, Sameet as well as Vikas. Please keep your answers short so that we can accommodate a lot more queries. Sameet, this one's for you. Chandrasekhar has got 2,200 shares of BEL at 98. He wants to know if he should average at current levels.
Don't average, but hold on. Stock is trading around 200-day moving average, so 90 remains to be a very strong support.
Coming back to you, Sameet, Tata Steel bought at levels of 600. What levels to watch out for?
See, unfortunately, this stock has been one of the underperforming stock, but trading around its major multi-year support lows, so 340, 335, according to us, should act as a very strong support.
Okay, Vikas, any fundamental thoughts on Action Construction if somebody is already bought and sitting on losses?
Sorry, Navneet, I do not track the stock and would not be able to offer my comment on the same.
Okay, Sameet, coming to you on Canfin Homes, looking for a short-term target and stop loss.
See, I think stock needs to surpass 385 in order to trigger some kind of strength. So if that happens, then 410, 415, these are the levels. And on the low side, in that case, the stop loss would be around 362.
Sameet, Britannia bought at 28.51. This is Akshay Mittal's query. He wants to know what to do because the stock's been correcting in the last few trading sessions.
See, as of now, hold on. But in case of a decent recovery towards 2550, 2600, use it as an exit opportunity.
Vikas, fundamentals on Edelweiss, is it a buy for you?
No, I would recommend an avoid on the stock. The company is going through some difficult times, and I think there are better stocks in the sector to look at.
Sameet, Ashok Leyland bought at 120. What to do?
I think hold on, and one has to be patient because stock has been consolidating now around its major support lows.
Vikas, Maharashtra Scooter and Bajaj Holding, these have done particularly well in the recent past, but would you hold on to them for 5 years or so?
So as far as both the stocks are concerned, they are good quality companies and with some pretty strong group backing them. But then I think from a 5 years point of view, they would not generate the kind of returns which other stocks can do. So I think from a 5 year point of view, one should switch to some other better ideas.
Vikas, very quickly, top nifty company according to you which can be bought at current levels?
I like Reliance at the current levels. After the AGM, I've been pretty bullish on Reliance, although the stock has gone up from there about 10 to 11%, but I still feel the kind of announcements which the management made and the kind of indications which he gave about reducing the company's debt to zero levels by 2021, then unlocking value from the demerger of the two new age businesses. I'm pretty bullish on Reliance, and I would recommend a buy on Reliance at the current levels with a target of 1,600 rupees on the stock in a year.
Wow, okay. All right. Well, on that note, let me thank both our guests. Thank you so much, Vikas and Sameet, for helping our viewers out with all the queries that you did answer.
Remember, we're just a tweet, post, or a call away, so please keep your queries coming, and we promise to address most of them through our shows. For all previous episodes, you can visit our YouTube channel or our website, bloombergquint.com. Stay tuned. Power Lunch comes up next.